Oh, okay. I can talk about it. It's on their website now.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I think mine comes next week. Welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
And that's why it's covered in plastic.
Oh, man.
Some X-rated content there.
I don't care how long it is.
Thoroughly excited.
Great for the pocketbook, bad for the environment.
Oh, I'm number 3.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
If I'm going to put money into this, it's going to be great. And I guarantee.
Don't forget to spend your Burkle bucks.
That was super easy.
Get it. Ooh, that was a long crack.
Crispy.
That's a mango bubbly.
That was a lime bubbly.
Ooh, back on the limes. Well, this mango bubbly means that you've just cracked into Off the Cut episode 177 for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. And while you can't buy mango bubbly at kmtools.com yet, Zach, I've heard that you can buy a lot of other good things.
You can buy a whole bunch of stuff that's either made by Jonathan and his team, or it's stuff that they actually use in their workshops. Because if it's on their shop, it's in their shop. I modified it slightly, and I think he would appreciate that slight tweak to the verbiage. And, anytime you buy anything at kmtools.com, you can actually feel good about it because a portion of every single sale goes to support the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Funds that puts tools in the hands of people who need them. And speaking of putting tools in the hands of people who need them, use us $50 every single month to give away to one of our lucky patrons, which is pretty dang cool. And I also want to give Jonathan a little shout out right now. Shout out and a slight complaint to him. He's got a video that's blowing up right now. Yeah. And the thumbnail for it is just his face absolutely mangled.
Yeah.
So, very positive story, very jarring thumbnail. Go check it out.
Yep. And if you're somebody who's like, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes, like the person who wants to know about leaks and special stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I'll say is if you watch Jonathan's video, pay attention because there is a slew of products that he shows, doesn't explicitly talk about them, but are unreleased products that are coming out, hopefully, from what he's told me, hopefully this year, in time for Black Friday. That's all I'll say.
We'll probably have a little bit more info about said tools as we get a little closer.
Yeah. I know that they're just placed an order for one specific thing, so that should be working its way to his facility sometime soon.
On a truck, on a boat from somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, speaking of tools, if you're somebody who's like, I want SawStop, I want Bits and Bits, I want Festool.
I do think that quite frequently.
What about Lamello?
Every damn day. Every time I watch a Keith Johnson video, I'm like, maybe I'll buy a Lamello.
Yeah. Well, what if I told you all of that was available under one roof?
I wouldn't believe you.
Well, believe this. Bill Burkle over at WTBwoodworking.com has everything you need. In fact, he's got some new stuff from Craig that's coming out that if you go to his website, you might be able to see it before it officially launches. Just saying, you didn't hear it here. But he's also just pulled in Mafel tools. Now, I've personally never put my hands on anything from Mafel. You probably haven't either. Nope. So in 1 week, Tuesday, August 19th, head over to WTB Woodworking for Mafel Day. He's offering free demos and free hot dogs and free hamburgers just for going to check out the tools. Yeah.
That sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty sweet. I also heard a rumor that he might sell live edge slabs directly on his website.
He certainly does. If you go on his website, you can see like a whole inventory. It's like a storybook of slabs that you can buy because he kiln dries his own lumber. He's got I believe it's called an iDry, if I'm not mistaken. He's got everything over there. He's also running a huge giveaway at wtbwoodworking.com/giveaway. Excuse me, close to $1,000 worth of moisture meter stuff. So you've got the Wagner Orion 950 dual depth moisture meter. And get this, on Saturday, October 25th from 9 to 3, he's throwing an extravaganza celebrating the 1-year anniversary of his store. So if you're in the area, go to 390 Pike Road, Unit 1 and 2, Huntingdon Valley, PA.
Heck yeah.
They've got it all. They've got it all. Well, what should we talk about first?
Well, I mean, we were talking about it a little bit during the pre-show, and by the way, that's a plug to watch us live on YouTube every Tuesday.
That's right.
PM. Because, sometimes we get a little carried away in the pre-show before the actual show starts. We chit-chat a little bit. You mentioned that Bill has maybe inadvertently posted a couple tools a little early on his website. And I'm looking at 731's YouTube channel right now. I think he's actually currently live talking about all of the... Actually, I shouldn't have said that he's live, because now everybody's going to tune out of the live stream and go watch his.
He's not live.
He's not live. He's not live. Just check it tomorrow or something like that. No, he's currently... I think he's leaking everything. I think he's showing off the whole thing. So I think the cat's kind of out of the bag at this point.
Does he have the tools in hand? Because to my understanding, Whitney hasn't sent the stuff out yet.
Should I tune into his live stream real quick?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Hold on. Let's see.
So,
dude, does not look like he's giving it away, but he's on their website.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like floating around their website, and
Yeah, it looks like, okay, so I mean, I'm just gonna rewrite off the screen right now. They have a cordless pocket hole joiner, and it looks like that whole thing is on their website in their store, maybe.
It is. It is.
So that's out there. We're not doing anything bad.
No. So we're not doing anything bad by talking about this.
Yeah,
it's exciting. If you go to Craig's Instagram page, you can see kind of like some teaser content that they're putting out. But the only thing I will talk about is, yes, you were 100% right. I can talk about this. It's on their website.
Mm-hmm.
They are making a cordless pocket hole joiner. So think of it in terms of like a biscuit machine or a domino machine where you hold it and then you plunge it in. That's exactly how this new pocket hole joiner is going to work.
Drills built in and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's cordless. And it
wonder if it automatically adjusts the depth and everything for you, or if you have to still dial all that in based on your...
I can't tell you.
choice.
I didn't get like a product manual or anything on that.
But maybe sometime soon.
It should be soon. I'm supposed to get it. I was told it shipped sometime this week, and I should have stuff come. I should have that tool coming.
All right.
Yeah. So they're obviously coming out with their own battery platform, and all I can say is it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you can check it out on their website.
Yeah. It's called the Craig Rebel Pocket Hole Joiner. So yeah, it's on their website. We're not spoiling anything.
No.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Cool.
Part of the new Ionic drive system.
Yeah.
Ionic drive system. That's okay. That
I
sounds
think
like
that's what they're calling their battery platform.
Okay. So
yeah, it is.
I mean, I guess my initial thought is not another battery platform, right?
I know.
Which is what everybody's thinking. I kind of wish they teamed up with somebody. Like, could they not have done what Wagner did, where they used the DeWalt batteries, or
I get that,
Milwaukee or something like that? I just wish they didn't do their own battery platform.
Yeah,
but weren't we talking to somebody and they said that like the money isn't necessarily in the tools; it's in the batteries?
I could believe that
with these manufacturers.
Although I wonder, I could believe it, but I also like batteries just kind of cost what they cost. Like you can go on like Alibaba or something, and you can contract to buy the 18650 cells that power basically every power tool battery. There's like it's like a commodity price at this point, right? The same batteries that power your power tools, power Teslas, power an infinite number of electric devices, right? So those are kind of known costs. And I'm sure, you buy a DeWalt battery, I'm sure they're making a little bit of markup there. But then the tools, I think there's actually more margin in the tools. And I could be wrong here, but having opened up a cordless drill before, there's not much to it. It's a motor, a switch, and a plastic shell that contains everything. Maybe there's like a transmission or something in there too, but they're pretty simple devices.
All the hidden costs like R&D and advertising.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Yeah, definitely. But just the actual unit cost is, I think, probably pretty low. But you're right. I should properly account for R&D because I'm sure that's a huge part of it. And marketing, like when they pay guys like us, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Or like think of like the whole team that goes in developing a whole new product and stuff like that. Those people have to get paid too.
Yep. Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
I think that's one of those things where people go into this and they're like, oh my God, somebody put out a product and they're making 75% margin on it. It's like, yeah, but you're also not factoring in the 317 people who work 6 months on this product. Like,
yeah, I mean, again, like there's so much. The accounting team that supports all those people, the factory that it was made in, the trucks that shipped it across the country and dropped it off at the Home Depot near your house. Right. Like, don't maybe look less at the margin of the tool and look more at like the net profit of the company. And that'll give you a better idea of how much they're actually making.
But you're never going to be able to determine that yourself. Like okay, those 1860 battery cells or whatever. If you literally just take that and then say, that would have cost me 75 cents to 3D print that housing, and then you add the battery plus the housing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but they sell it for $150. They're making 90% markup on that. It's like, no.
Yeah. But I bet
a lot more to it.
I bet you like the 18650 cells plus that, the $1 or $2 for the housing or something like that. I bet you that's probably closer to like 50% of the retail cost of a battery when you go and buy it in the store.
Yeah.
And whereas the tool, if you told me it was actually, I don't know, for some reason I believe that there's a thicker margin on the tools themselves. I could be wrong about that. But like all of those, the factory that makes them, the team that researches them, yes, they're just sticking together a bunch of batteries, but like there's little meters on them. I'm sure they do an absolute crap ton of testing to make sure that the cells like work in all the conditions. I for some reason, I just think there's thicker margins on the tools themselves rather than the batteries. But I'd love to be proved wrong if any viewers out there have more inside information.
So I think you're onto something because hypothetically, right? You make a battery platform. You put in X amount of hours, people labor into creating the batteries. And then that product, for the sake of discussion and not making a improved version or whatever, that product is done, right? Then any other time or effort that you're spending is going to be spent developing the tools. Yeah. So it's kind of, I think you're right that you do end up spending more time developing the tools than you do the battery.
Yeah. For sure. There's way more work that goes into developing the tools. That's a given, I think.
After sitting here looking over this Craig jig thing, the Rebel ion driver pocket hole joiner, tool only, $299, no battery included. I'm inclined to change and realign with you, Zach. I think they're making a lot off of this thing.
It's like I'm sure
no battery.
Yeah, no battery. I'm sure they probably put a lot into researching it, and definitely it's harder to make the first generation tool in terms of R&D than the second generation one. Like, when DeWalt releases a new drill sometimes it's just a lightly refreshed version of the old one. The R&D costs are not the same there. Versus this is a brand new tool. I'm sure they spent a ton making this, but still, you look at the thing and you're like, it's 90% plastic and $300. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they cost $50 to $75 to make per unit. But I could be underestimating the cost, but that's just what my gut tells me.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't think that's unfair to then turn around and sell that for $300 when you consider all the other things.
Yeah. Anecdotally speaking, I've told you guys I got a buddy who works for Milwaukee Tools.
Yep.
I know from experience that like if I tell him like, hey, you know, I've been checking out this tool, or hey, I'm having this issue, this tool like died on me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Batteries, he's usually like, that's cool. Like I get you hooked up with battery. Tools, it's way harder for him to help you out with tools than batteries. Sometimes you might be like, I could get it to you at cost.
Okay. All right. So, maybe I'm wrong then.
No. I think, what I'm saying there is I think, I see what you're saying. If they can give batteries out easier, there's probably more margin on them.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know. So
this is the answer.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone knows the answer. It's interesting because up until today, I had no information about the cost of these Craig tools.
Okay.
The only thing I know is that their goal, like we talked about with DeWalt and Milwaukee, you go into the store and you're like, I need a drill. I buy Milwaukee or I buy DeWalt. People like us who work with this stuff nearly every damn day, I could not tell you which is the best drill there.
Yeah.
Right?
Without doing in-depth research, I couldn't tell you the difference between two DeWalt drills because their naming schemes are completely asinine.
So Craig's goal with this is to have a premium line of tools that's at a reasonable price point. So somebody like us can walk in and go, I need a drill. I get the drill.
Okay.
That's their goal.
Okay. I'd be curious to hear, really talk to the Craig engineers and, maybe get a couple beers on them and be like, do you think your drill is better than the Milwaukee drill? Do you think your drill is better than DeWalt? Like truly, or are they like, it's more of like a Ryobi level? You know what I mean?
Sure.
An honest answer.
If it is like marketing hype and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like, but and like I get it. Like Craig has a really strong reputation with like, especially beginner woodworkers, right?
For sure.
Like the Craig jig is fantastic, and basically everybody has one.
Right.
So that's like a great entry point. Like, this thing works well. I trust the brand. Like, let me try out some of their other stuff.
I think that's probably their goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I do think this cordless pocket hole jig is pretty attractive, but your battery platform is a tough sell.
I know.
Yeah, I found it attractive until I saw that it was $300 and it doesn't come with the battery.
Yeah, but with PayPal, you can finance it for as low as $28.66 a month, according to their website.
That is funny. So
yeah, I'm curious. Looks like they have two sizes of batteries just based on their website. Looks like it's maybe like a 5 amp hour and a 1.5 amp hour or 2 amp hour.
Yeah. But they don't have them listed or pricing or specs or anything. It's just pictures and
just wait.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm looking at their website and they have a bunch of example photos of their other tools being used. And in a lot of those photos, they have like other power tool brands. So I see one where there's a Bosch tool. No, that's a different company there. I was wondering if like I could suss out, like that's a Milwaukee tool, I think. I was wondering if maybe they were actually made by Bosch and then like repainted or something like that.
Oh.
But it doesn't look like that because some photos have Bosch tools, some photos have Milwaukee tools. They're gonna have to go through and reshoot all their product photos to
I know.
use their own tools.
I know.
Yeah.
What a nightmare that'd be, huh?
I know.
But this kind of gets me to a topic that I know we've been meaning to bring up, to have like a whole episode about it. You see Craig come out with, obviously they're teasing a drill, a router, a multi-tool.
Mm-hmm.
How much innovation or is Craig going to get in trouble? The answer is no. Are they going to get in trouble for making a drill because other people make a drill? And what I mean by that is, like, where do you draw the line between like inspiration versus straight copying with developing tools, developing products, developing content? Like, this is clearly something that's becoming more of an issue that I think.
Yeah.
Well, if they start giving out, like, 5 different naming conventions, one of them an XR and one of them a Power Tech drive, and stealing from the other people like that, then you might have an issue.
But in all seriousness, like, why would we're making this up? Tool brand A comes out with a drill and calls it the XR. Why is that like oh hell no?
Yeah.
But if you come out with a drill that literally has the exact same specs, looks the exact same, as just a different color, people are like, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, okay, so drill, everybody can have one, right?
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know, but if somebody came out, like if Bosch tomorrow came out with a cordless pocket hole screw thing, Craig, I'm sure, would be up in arms. Like, hey, whoa, you can't do that. So why? I mean, I'm sure the answer is Craig has a patent on the pocket hole screw, but
perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the power drill's just been around too long.
Power drill is just like
it's like 150 years old. Like, power drills are they've been around since electricity, really.
What's the phrase that's like public knowledge or like common entity
public
or
domain?
Something? Yeah.
I think that's why. That, like, same with like circular saws. But then you start getting into like track saws, and I think we're seeing that with track saws, where it's shifting from being exclusively tool A's thing to a wider, more common power tool accessory, the track saw.
Right.
Like, everybody seems to have a track saw now. And for the most part, they interplay fairly well. There seems to be just a few track options, and all the tracks seem to, within those 3 or 4 options, seem to be swappable. As long as they're compatible. Yeah, because there's like the one that Festool makes. There's a few different brands that can actually work on that track. A couple different saws that are
Makita works on it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought the Makita one was its own thing, because they have their own tracks too.
They do, but like I'm saying, like the base, like the slotting dimensions, I suppose, of the track itself are common enough now. Like, there seems to be a standard that's coming together. And I think we're seeing that over like the past 10 years or so with track saws. As more of them get developed, they're finding a common ground, and I think we're going to have a standard track saw setup soon enough, and everybody will kind of follow suit, except for some of the outliers that'll want to do their own thing.
I wonder what the incentive for the companies to come together for something like that is. Because if you were Festool and somebody buys a Festool track saw, you want them to also buy the Festool tracks rather than go and get a Makita track, because it's half the price.
Yeah, I think maybe they can't copyright it, would be my guess. Or,
but
patent it or whatever. So,
but they can
make it.
They could make their saw with its own like proprietary base. You know what I mean? Unless the Makita has like multiple grooves in it for different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. Is that some of these other ones, their tracks maybe not necessarily working well with the Festool one, but the way they line theirs up, it can key into the Festool one just fine.
Yeah.
I haven't had hands-on experience with a lot of them, but I've seen where you have multiple saw brands that'll work with Festool and vice versa.
That'd be a good
And-
video. Somebody should get all the track saws and see which ones are compatible with which. And
So
there's
I don't know about the
according-
compatibility thing, but didn't Drew Witt do one a while back where he compared all the track saws?
oh yeah,
Probably.
Or a bunch of them at least.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
According
everybody
to
go check that
the
out.
Chat GPT, if you have a Festool rail, you can obviously have Festool saws, Makita,
Okay.
Metabo HPT / Hikoki, so we'll consider that the same brand.
Yeah.
Mafel, Bosch,
Oh,
Grizzly, Wen, Craig,
Okay.
and Triton.
Okay. So those will all work with the. Sorry to clarify. Those will all work with the Festool track.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you use a Festool saw on one of their tracks?
I
As
would
well?
assume so.
Yeah.
Because you could surmise that if the saw fits on the track,
Yeah.
then another saw should fit on the other track.
In theory, yes, but I could see Festool being sneaky and being like, actually, our saw has like a little pin here that prevents
Sure.
it from being used on somebody else's track.
okay. Got a little development here.
Okay.
Their Festool does have a technology patent on Climax portability, which is their track mounting system, and Milwaukee does
Oh, to the
rent that
license.
patent out from. They have the license for that patent. So that's probably what it
Climax?
is.
Okay.
Climax, CLIMAX.
God. How horny are those Festool
What
guys?
is that? I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, Climax portable.
I mean, nobody's going to be upset about toting that around, right?
No,
Right?
definitely not. I'd be extremely happy about that, I think.
But like, it's a genuine question. So
Yeah, I think we kind of got sidetracked on a little like.
No, yeah,
you
Yeah.
extrude this shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how, I mean, it's extruded aluminum, right? It's
Mhm.
a certain outline, just gets extruded like pasta. At what point did the manufacturer say, like, that's cool, you can literally take this exact design? Like, why
Yeah.
didn't someone patent that? Or why was that not patentable or like protected or whatever, right?
I mean, it's a big conversation. Honestly, I think, I don't know. Some days I'm like, are patents just complete BS? Like,
I thought Jonathan kind of said that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be able to protect a patent, you have to be a pretty big, like, you have to be willing to invest a lot of money
Yeah.
to constantly be out there. Like, okay, say the government gives you a patent on something. You still are in charge of going out and policing that patent yourself, right? They don't really check to make sure that nobody's infringing on your patent.
could we patent the podcast?
We could, for sure, but then somebody else could spool up the Off the Cut podcast, the new, better version, and we would then be responsible for hiring a lawyer to say, to, you know, get a letter telling them to take it down and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why Jonathan was saying, like, if you're a small to medium-sized company, like, trying to enforce your patents is expensive, almost like prohibitively expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
That
really
makes
for
sense.
these bigger companies that can actually afford to get out there and police them all the time.
But it also seems like, I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, just be lazy, but it seems exhausting, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah, it only makes sense if you can, like, outsource it to have, like, afford to have a legal team that just does that all the time, and that's what their entire responsibility is.
I mean,
although
go ahead,
it could
Derek.
also just be a marketing thing. You know, like you get a patent for a thing, and initially you defend it for the first couple months, or you don't even really have to defend it. You just have to, like, file injunctions or whatever, and then just let that lapse. And, you know, your initial sales run is out the door, and now you've got a head start on the market against
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, that's true no matter what. Like, I don't know what kind of timeline you're thinking of, but if you come out with a product and you market it right away, like, somebody then from, like, if they're keyed in and they're fast right away and they see your idea and they steal it immediately, it's still going to take them like 6 months to get their own version of it to market, right?
Yeah. But
So-
the patent thing could, I could imagine would buy you at least a year or so.
Oh, for sure. I think patents
that world at all, but I imagine
know.
you're going to buy some time.
How long do patents last a while?
Oh yeah,
It was
they can
like
last for like 100
15
years if
or
you wanted it to.
Yeah, I think okay. So in general, patents last for 20 years from the date, but then you can like extend it if later.
I think you can only extend. Like I think Disney recently proved that you can only extend a patent or a copyright for like 100 years, and then a patent you can only extend for I think like half that time or something like that.
So I might be speaking out of turn here because I'm not an expert on the subject, but I believe a patent is different than a trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so patent is like an idea for like a device or a function.
Like how something works, right?
How something works, whereas a trademark is more of an idea, like a branding idea, like the aforementioned climax connector or whatever. Yeah. So, but that could be a patent and a trademark because you would have two. You would have the shape of the connector and how it functions. That would be your patent, and then the trademark would be like the name and the branding behind it.
Yeah.
So really, you have to defend two separate things, which is again even crazier.
So I have two thoughts here. One is like the whole like defending your copying and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all been victim of you're on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, that's my video.
Oh, I had a great example of this recently.
Go for it.
So I was selling some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw, I don't know, maybe this is conceited of me to think, but I saw a table that looked exactly like a table I made. So you guys remember that like pixelated table I did, the Minecraft table, where it's like, it's walnut on one side and it's a bunch of like rectangular tubes, and then it's ash on the other side. They kind of blend together.
Yeah.
I saw a table exactly like that, and I messaged the person on Facebook Marketplace and was like, hey, just out of curiosity, like, was this inspired by one of my videos? And really quickly they were like, no, this is my own design.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Like, and again, like, I don't know, like, I to some degree, I put my videos out because I want people to kind of follow along at home and take inspiration from them. So I don't know. I wasn't like upset about it or anything like that, but it was like such a unique design that I was like, I'm almost certain this was inspired by my own project.
I know what you mean. Like, I've definitely seen stuff where definitely what you bring up of like, oh, is it conceited of me to believe that this person saw my stuff and then, were inspired or whatever by me. But I've definitely seen videos or ideas or like way stuff was filmed, and I'm like,
yeah,
this looks really familiar.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great example. The way something is filmed, or like the cinematic feel of something, is again like could very well be derivative of somebody else's work. But it's like, well, do you own like a filming style?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or is it just purely coincidental? Like you've brought up in the past the parallel thinking, I think is what you called it.
Yep. Two people can arrive at the same thought organically. Right. So and maybe this Minecraft table is an example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, who's to say that individual didn't have a kid or whatever that was really into the Minecraft thing, and they're like, oh, that'd be sick to make a table like that.
Yep, exactly.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So let's play just for fun. The three of us want to develop our own off-the-cut track saw.
Okay.
Where is too far? Or what line would you have to cross where it becomes we're copying someone?
Yeah.
Does it ride on this? Go ahead.
I think we need to change the name, first of all. We can't have a track saw called Off the Cut. It's got to be the On the Cut track saw or something.
Okay. So that could be our trademark, On the Cut track saw.
But yeah, like to answer your question, I think if we're going at it and we are just making a straight copy, not consulting with anybody on these patent owners that
Sure.
the patents on these things, then we are definitely infringement there, and it's in poor taste as well. But if we approach these patent holders and say, hey, we have this idea to take what you guys have here, and we're going to tweak it a little bit and do our own thing with it. That's our thing. Can we get a license for it? And then we acquire a license, and I'd say we're obviously good and clear. And as long as we're bringing something to the market that's not redundant, not morally, but to the audience,
Sure.
we should bring value. Then I think we'd be okay. But yeah, if we're just straight up making copies of stuff, then what's the value add?
Well, let's break it down. So the concept of a track saw, that's okay. That's fair game, right? Because a bunch of other people make them.
But we're going to assume that we know that's okay.
Yeah, like just for the sake of
we
argument.
don't know. Right.
I think any brand at this point could come out with a track saw you wouldn't mind, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
And so is the next necessary step that it has to do? What if we came out with a crappy track saw that wasn't really better than any of the others, but it was a little cheaper?
Like a Wen track saw.
Like, yeah, what if we made a Wen track saw? Is that morally okay?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
So our branding colors for the podcast are black and like a goldish yellow.
Yeah.
So if we made it black and yellow, would we be hosed because DeWalt uses yellow? Like, you can't tell me that DeWalt owns the color yellow and no power tool is allowed to make any of their stuff yellow. Like, that's absurd, right?
Yeah. I think, and again, an expert could correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think as long as it's different shades, DeWalt probably owns a very specific shade of black and yellow.
Power yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
OSHA safety yellow.
Yeah.
I believe is what their yellow is called.
So what if we designed a unique track saw? We didn't we took the functionality is the same. It's a circular saw with an adjustable depth that rides along the track.
Sure.
But it was all unique. Like, it wasn't directly copying anybody else's, and we called it the off the cut. But is that okay? I think most people would say that's okay.
But why is that different? Let's relate it to content. Why is that different than somebody makes a video of somebody makes a Minecraft-esque table video?
Yeah.
Some people would be like, oh, that's cool. They made a similar video. Other people would be like, what the hell? That person ripped off my video. Or ripped off my project, or ripped off my, table that I sell to clients or whatever. How's that?
I think what you're comparing is apples and oranges, because you're comparing let's say machined products versus artistically created products.
Ooh, okay. And for sake of discussion, Derek, not to be a turd, how's that different?
Well, so like a mechanically developed product is it's a tool. It's something that requires no artistic interpretation. A screwdriver has a flat edge. It's designed to slot into a screw and turn it. Anybody can make one of those. But if you designed a screwdriver, say, with an artistic flair that has a design on the handle that you painted yourself or came up with on your own and had printed on the screwdriver, then that is artistic interpretation. And that is something that if somebody copied, I think you would have an issue with.
Yeah.
Versus if they just copied it being a screwdriver in the first place.
Can I make a weird argument that
Sure.
the first tool of like any type is almost like an artistic creation? Like, yes, we all have this concept of like a screwdriver that we know and we're all familiar with. But the very first screwdriver or the very first track saw is kind of like an artistic thing, right? It's because it had never existed before. And it's like, somebody probably made their own like prototype track saw in their garage. And we're like, oh, this is actually sweet. And now, 10, 20 years later, we have all these competitors for it. It's just like the very best artistic creations then become like mass marketed products down the road.
How would you interpret a screwdriver differently than somebody else to make it artistic?
Well, at this point, I think the screwdriver's kind of tapped out. Like we're at peak screwdriver.
Well, like initially, like first guy comes out with a screwdriver, I would argue that it's not artistic. It's functional. It's something that achieves a purpose. To make it artistic, it would have to be interpreted by the individual user in a different way for each user. Each user would have to hold that screwdriver and use it a different way and interpret its meaning differently or personally to themselves and respectively to the artist as well, versus something that's designed or developed for the purpose of just fulfilling a task. It's just a task oriented object. It has no artistic integrity, no artistic purpose other than to complete a task, which is not artistic. It's just I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Functional, maybe.
Functional, yes.
But I think all art serves some function, even if it's just, cosmetic or aesthetic or whatever you want to say, right?
Well, art can be functional, but I don't think tools can be used to create art, but I don't believe that the tools themselves
is art.
Is art, unless it's, a banana duct tape to a wall, and then you've got art for whatever reason.
I don't know. I think
art invokes emotion versus a tool that just completes a task.
I don't know. Some people get pretty emotional about buying and they're seeing a new tool.
That's true.
And I've seen a lot of art that didn't evoke any emotion in me as well.
Confusion is an emotion.
What about boredom? I guess boredom.
Ennui is an emotion.
So listen to this. The first true track saw, meaning a plunge cut circular saw designed to run on a dedicated guide rail, was made by
Festool in the 60s.
Zach, you got a guess?
I'll say DeWalt just to be the contrarian.
Maffel in Germany back in 1962. They called it the PSS, plunge saw system. It was aimed at carpenters who needed precise splinter-free cuts and sheet goods on site. The concept was later refined and popularized by Festool when they introduced their own version in 1980.
Very cool. Very cool.
So right then and there is...
Hold on. What year did you say it was? I'm sorry.
1962 Maffel and then 1980 Festool. So 18 years later, Festool came out with theirs.
I was wondering if it was like, is it that 20, 25 year patent expiration thing right there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But is it one of those things where if you look at something and you inherently make it better, that it's not like intellectual property thievery?
But okay, so that's what I was trying to get to earlier. It's like, do you need that layer of improvement?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think you do. My gut tells me that you don't need to make it better to make it different.
No, well, okay, well, that's clearly true because Makita, DeWalt, Festool, whoever had a track saw that worked fine. Yeah. And then Wen comes out with one, which let's be honest, people, we're not crapping on Wen.
Yeah.
It is a cheaper budget saw. No, it is not as good.
Yeah.
So they absolutely did not improve on anything. They just maybe they improved on price.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you could argue is a type of improvement if you offer a better cost to benefit ratio than the competition.
Yeah. Improved your manufacturing or at least cheapened it in some way.
Yeah.
So then let's take it this way. Zach, I see your video about, let's just call it the Minecraft table for sake of discussion. I see
by the way, just as a tease for the after show, I found the Facebook listing and I found some samples of mine, and we're going to compare the two in the after show, and you guys can tell me if you think this guy ripped me off.
Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. For sake of discussion, I see your Minecraft table video, and I say, that's a pretty cool table. I think I could do it better, and I think I could make a video that's more interesting.
Yeah.
Am I copying you?
By the way, that was an early video, so you almost certainly could. That was not a strong video.
No, I think you are copying. It's 100% copying. Now, the question becomes, are you treating it as an homage, in which case you are giving credit to Zach for the initial idea or inspiring you, or are you claiming that it is wholeheartedly your idea?
Yeah. Okay, I agree. I think intent.
There you go.
Is
part of it,
but that's such a gray area.
Yeah, it's true because so man, what if you do legitimately make a better table and a better video, but you don't acknowledge that you got inspiration from my project?
Do I have to?
Because then you're legitimately making something that's all around better.
Sure.
But morally, you should be making that that claim, or that, if you know that you got inspiration from Zach, then morals would say, society would say, you should in some way acknowledge that.
Does Festool then need to say, like, hey, Mafel had this really good idea with this track saw and we made a better one?
Exactly. Every time
they probably did, as long as there was a patent with cash.
Yeah.
But as soon as there wasn't a patent, I'm sure they stopped paying.
Yeah, just I feel like so many of those.
If your cell phone company stopped sending you a bill but kept giving you service, would you keep sending them money?
Yeah. I agree with you. I think that is the moral thing to do. If you've been inspired by somebody's work and you're creating a derivative product, it's nice to acknowledge. But at the end of the day, like if I went on YouTube and I saw somebody made a better version of my table and the video was better, I don't think I'd be too butthurt about it. Like I wouldn't be like, making copyright claims and being like, you got to take this thing down, and like, getting all my subscribers to what do you call it when they
go pitchfork thing?
Yeah, pitchfork Bob. They go hate bomb the video comments and stuff like that.
Yeah, one, as I was saying, one video, if you don't call it out, it could be written off in one thing, whatever. But if video after video after video, you are copying, say, the same person or even different people from the same niche, and not making any acknowledgments, but making almost 1-to-1 copies of the videos.
Yeah.
I think eventually the mob is going to catch up to you.
I mean, plenty of people will rip off like Mr. Beast's video concepts.
Yeah. Right. Or Zach comes out with a PS2 video, and then miraculously, my next video is a PS2 video, and then Zach does a Game Boy, and then mine's Game Boy.
Yeah.
And it's abundantly obvious.
Yeah.
It's not just like one-off, I did a PS2 video, and then Zach's like, yeah, I did one of those once.
Yeah.
You copied me. I don't know.
Like, do you own the concepts of your videos?
Right.
I think you do, but to an extent. And also in the beginning, as creators, like content creators, you're 100% taking liberties with somebody else's personality, delivery, style in some way. Even the things that you're making are not wholly your own ideas, or if they are, you're taking off very fast because that's incredible that you're filming 100% original ideas right away. But they're not, and you're slowly, hopefully, finding your own voice, finding your own style, finding your own ideas, and getting away from that hopefully homaging and not just straight up ripping off of other creators, and again finding your own voice.
So we would say that if I made a direct copy of Zach's Minecraft table video and I didn't give him credit, we would say that's kind of poopy.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd get raked over the coals for it for sure by the comment section.
And for for discussion, I don't disagree. I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Zach does a video, 10 tools I think everybody should have. And I go, ooh, that's cool. I should do that. Do I then need to give Zach credit for the 10 tools I think people should have if my tools aren't the same as his, if I have a different list?
It's a screwdriver.
That's
something everybody. It's been done too much by
so
too
like
many
but the first guy who did that might have thought that he had. That's why I kind of said, like, at a certain point we're like, okay, it's a screwdriver. But the first time somebody was like a 10 tool list video, that was probably like a brilliant piece of art.
Sure.
I gotta imagine the top 10 videos are as old as YouTube, because top 10s have been around for decades. We had top 10 beauty tips in magazines back in the 50s. You had top 10 albums to buy, in Rolling Stone magazine back in the 70s, things like that. So it's been top 10 lists have been around before YouTube.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody could have a claim on a top 10 video as far as like owning that idea on YouTube. I think they've been around too long.
See, this is why I don't know. I still think that the first one is always a piece of art, and then we just get like so used to them that at a certain point it becomes a screwdriver.
Just to use it.
It just it just becomes ubiquitous. It's part of the lexicon. It's just something that exists, that always has existed.
Yeah.
But
the only way we get to that point is through people emulating and copying, right? Because somebody had to come up, like there was a first like top 10 list for whatever the heck it was in some 1930s publication or something like that.
I think if you want to make it something a little more current and relevant, you say podcast. Like the first podcasts aren't that old. They're 20 years old, maybe 25 years old. So the first people that were on podcasts were, probably not still doing podcasts. Very few of them are, and most of them are phasing out of it. And for us to come along and make up, let's say we spin off a whole brand new podcast, it being a podcast isn't a novel idea. Yeah. So we have to find a way to make it novel.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
this format, 3 dudes with lackluster beards
talking about tools. I mean, even like you boil down, the only thing that makes this podcast unique is the 3 individual hosts that are on it. Everything else about it has been done at least 10 times over.
Yeah.
By very similar people.
Right. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So we got our good buddy Chris Babick, one of our patrons, sent in some thoughts on this, and I thought you guys would find this interesting.
Okay.
All right. He said, here's my thought on where the line gets drawn between inspiration and what we joked the other episode was intimidation. Because somebody mispronounced it. He says, I think it comes down to intent. Unfortunately, there's no way to gauge that really. But when said creator said he was going to make an exact copy of a reel just for views, then it's obviously theft. But if you're taking an idea and changing it, then it's an original idea. It's probably the respectful thing to do to say where the idea came from. For instance, your podcast uses the same jingle or two as Shop Sounds. But you said this jingle is from Shop Sounds podcast, and everyone knows that you guys are friends, so nobody thinks ill.
Yeah.
True. I think, very true.
I'll give you another example that kind of muddies the water even more.
All right.
So, Eric, you know that everybody's rips off your I can't believe people do X, right?
Oh, yeah. Or why don't more people not?
Why don't more people? Yeah. Yes.
That wasn't an original idea of mine, though.
Oh, it wasn't.
But in the woodworking space, I think I was probably one of the first people that did it. I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure I titled my video something similar to your. I saw how well it worked for you. I thought I had like a similar concept. I texted you behind the scenes, and I said, "Is it okay if I use that title format for one of my videos?" Because you were the first person I saw do it, but I didn't say anywhere in the video and the description of the video like, "Hey, I got this idea from." So it's okay to like check behind the scenes, and if you have.
Exactly, but I don't own that phrase. Like,
yeah.
I would never be pissed at the 50 plus creators in our space I see doing that same naming convention.
Yeah.
Like, I don't for a second. I look at it and I laugh. I'm like, oh, that's funny. This one's working for them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't for a second thinking, oh, F this person, F that person. They did this. I'm like, that's fantastic. If it works for you. Like,
yeah.
I think a lot of it has to, I had this conversation with Jason Bent a while back. A scarcity mindset versus a surplus mindset.
Mhm.
The idea of, if that person wins, I lose. Or if that person wins, I can't then win. So like, if I would see Zach, your video, or Derek, your video blow up on YouTube, a scarcity mindset would say, damn, I'm so mad that your guys' video did well because that means mine can't. Whereas a surplus mindset is thinking like, that I'm so happy for you guys that yours blew up, because that might mean there's a bigger trend with this. And then maybe my next video is going to be perform really well. Like, I'm encouraging you. I want things to go well for you. I think it's a mindset shift as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, especially with a YouTube video like idea and thumbnail, like does them creating a similar video mean that you're going to get less views on your video?
Not necessarily.
If anything, it might be the opposite. You might end up being the first recommended video after somebody's done watching theirs.
Sure. So
And
like,
then
rises all boats.
Yeah.
yeah, I make a 10 tools list video, and then Zach, for sake conversation, copies me and makes a 10 tool list video. But what if somebody goes to Zach's video first? After that, it serves them my video.
Yeah.
I would say that benefits me.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I make a top 11 tools video then? Is that still
Or
copying?
top 9?
Right.
Yeah.
Or top 9?
So I just said this in the comments to somebody, but I've seen people, like, for a while I was doing, my title format was just, I built a modern and then insert whatever game console. I did like 3 or 4 of those videos in a row. And I saw a few people doing that same title format.
Yeah.
And very similar videos too. But it's like, I don't.
But you don't own that title format.
And I don't think them using a similar title to me takes videos away from me.
No.
So,
and you got to deliver still too.
What's that?
And you still have to deliver, or they.
And you still have to deliver too, which I think is actually the biggest thing. Is like, you can steal all the thumbnails and titles and even video concepts, but if the video doesn't, if it's not a good video, they're not going to get any views on it, right?
Ooh.
So,
and I think the audience catches on if they see that you're constantly just redoing what they've already seen from other creators a week or two before, and you're just constantly repeating or rehashing on old or on other ideas and not delivering anything original. If you're not delivering any original content, eventually the audience catches on to that and they move on.
Yep.
I've from what I've seen.
Yep. I think that's true. I mean, I think if you're not adding anything to the discussion, nobody's going to watch your videos.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to at least bring something to the table. You can't just only recycle other people's ideas in a substandard or even at the same level. You need to value add.
Right.
But I mean, at the same time, I've seen people that do this. They regurgitate the content. I'm going to contradict myself here.
Okay.
They regurgitate content they've seen other people doing, repeating things. And what they bring to it has no substance. But it's flashy enough and it's loud enough that it catches the algorithm. Because they have whatever they're putting out there as a personality is what they're selling, but it's just smoke and mirrors. It's not really anything. It really doesn't bring anything, but it's a show. And yeah, that's all they're selling is their show.
That's fair.
Yeah. Some people might like the show though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it entertains them, right?
That's true. Like the dancing monkeys.
At the end of the day, like art is subjective, right? It might not
That's true.
be good to us, but it might be good to somebody else. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
some people want very shallow, very flashy content with not much substance behind it. I mean, I think that's pretty clear.
It's definitely a personal thing. I will agree.
Yeah.
Right. I think John from Biscuitry just chimed in. He said, and I fully agree with this, is if you rely on just copying others, you might see some early success, but eventually people will see through it. Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more.
100%.
But let's be honest. We all took inspiration from other creators.
Oh yeah,
when we first started, right?
Exactly,
100%.
But you eventually find your voice and do your thing.
Yeah,
right. But I don't necessarily think that's bad because okay, I got into YouTube or whatever. There were folks that I had watched, and I was like, "That's cool. I want to do that too." I don't know how to make YouTube videos. I don't know how to structure them. This format, this process I've watched is interesting to me. I know it's successful. So why don't I start there?
Yeah.
And then slowly start making it mine.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a very effective strategy if you want to get started on YouTube to find some creators that you really like and emulate them to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, not to throw shade. I'm not throwing shade here. But I mean, isn't that kind of what John did when he came out with Lincoln Street and everything? He didn't necessarily copy anybody directly, but he looked at what works.
Yeah.
And put his spin on it and just out the gate like a racehorse took off.
Yeah. Realized
just market research.
Had talked to so many people, realized that doing a project video every week wasn't sustainable. He's like, well, what if I make topical things?
Yeah. Well, okay, let me ask you this now. So what if you're, so let's define what John did as market research, where he looked at a bunch of different creators, saw what was successful, and then made his own thing. What if his market research consisted of only researching John Malecki?
Oh, so you're saying it could be
a derivative of John Malecki?
Yeah. You could say that you could shoot yourself in the foot if the market research wasn't broad enough.
Do you have to draw from 5 different people in order to be ethical, or is it okay enough to just look at like what one person is doing?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
If you're coming from enough different angles, you've got enough inputs, it muddies the water enough that you can't pin down exactly where you're from.
Yeah.
And for the record, everybody listening, John from Lincoln Street is a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
We're not throwing shade at him. Good friend.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Let's say that I find 20 creators and this is take a discussion. I copy 20 of their videos. Do you think people would know because I'm copying from 20 different sources? Like, I
wonder. I mean, you might gain a reputation as a guy who just like copies whatever trend is big right now.
Have you ever had a strawberry banana smoothie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like if you got a strawberry banana smoothie and you look at it, it's kind of reddish in color. But other than that, could you make out a strawberry in there or a banana or the yogurt?
Well, yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's just kind of a big mess. You can't pick one thing out.
So I'd say if you took 20 different video ideas and copied them shot for shot, essentially.
Sure. Oh,
obviously people are going to
they're going to catch on. Yeah.
They're going to catch on. But if you took 20 different video ideas, threw them in a blender and
hit puree.
But that why is it hitting puree? Why does that all of a sudden make it ethical?
So is it because people can't see the individual ingredients?
Yeah. But just because somebody
and like Joe says,
it,
you're assuming that the viewers have seen those same 20 creators in their videos.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, like definitely just the 3 of us have completely different algorithms, watch completely different things, but do similar things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, but I don't. But the process is like almost identical, outside of the hitting the puree button. Yeah. But one is like widely regarded as like perfectly acceptable, and then the other one is kind of scummy behavior.
I think it's the direct copying. It's lazy because you're just taking what they've done and doing a direct copy, and you're adding nothing to it yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But if you put in the work, you do the research, you figure out what works, and you piece it together like a Lego kit, and you get something completely different. And I mean, it's the same, but it's different because it's got your voice, your thumbprint on it, your hard work of not categorizing, of putting it all together, if you will.
So bring it back to the track saw idea. We come out with the off the cut track saw, and one of the things. All right,
we take a feature from the DeWalt, a feature from the Festool, a feature from the Wen.
So, like a lot of people would agree the Festool has the best depth stop system on it. You squeeze it in, slide it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people really like the hingy plunge mechanism of the DeWalt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then I know a lot of people really like, I believe it's the Wen, that when you bevel the saw, it actually locks onto the track and won't just flop off.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? So what if we took those three? That's the only differentiation we had with our track saw. Are we copying 3 track saws, or are we inherently making our own better version?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a really good way. That's a great way to put it. Because like you're copying 3 different elements from 3 different competitors.
Yeah. But then again, I feel like this is a cyclical conversation. You get with the whole surplus versus scarcity mindset. If I were a track saw manufacturer and I saw somebody take this idea and this idea and this idea and make a better one, I might think, ooh, excellent. That's a really good idea. How can I reinvent my track saw to make it even one step up? And then that pushes somebody else to go another step up, and then me another step up. And it's inherently making the track saw market better for everyone.
Yeah.
I think the difference between the track saw market and creating YouTube videos is I only need one track saw, but I can watch 5 YouTube videos on the same subject.
Mm-hmm. But you can, I mean, look, Apple has proved that people will buy a new iPhone every single year.
That's true.
Right? So,
but an iPhone, they don't buy an iPhone and an Android and a Samsung and a Huawei.
But they might go iPhone one year, Samsung the next year, as the two kind of leapfrog each other technology-wise and feature-wise, right? So you might end up buying, I think actually most woodworkers probably will end up buying multiple track saws at some point.
Oh, yeah, but not the same year.
Probably not the same year. Probably not.
Unless you're Drew Witt.
Yeah. Unless they're making a comparison video.
Right. We got another. We actually got a couple more comments from Chris Babick about this. One of them was about parallel thinking, so I'm gonna skip that one. But Chris builds watches. So he said another instance is that I build watches. Any watch that's a dive style, which is a watch with a magnifier on the date, is pretty much going to look like a Rolex Submariner. You can change colors and things like that, but overall, that style people claim as a Rolex. Funny thing is, they weren't the first person to come up with that style. They're just well known for it. There's even watches out there that copy other watches one for one and put their own name on it. They're called homage watches, and it's a gray area where some people say it's theft and other people say it's fine because they're using their own brand name.
Okay.
That's so interesting. Like for that, like this homage watch, if that was content, people would rake you over the coals for it, don't you think?
Shot for shot, yeah.
Shot for shot, but you say this is an homage to. If I put out a video, shot for shot recreation, one of Eric's videos, but I have.
Would you say the same words too?
Saying the same words, but I have like 5 to 10 seconds at the beginning where I'm like, this is a shot for shot recreation of one of Eric's videos.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
first of all, weird. I don't think anybody would watch it.
Yeah.
Because my videos suck, let alone someone trying to recreate my videos.
I bet you'd watch it just for the weirdness factor. So I'd get at least one view.
That'd be it. Yeah.
I wonder if you could make a career as a YouTuber. Just every episode or every video you put out is a remake of somebody else's video. You redo their project,
That'd
you
be
do
cool.
it shot for shot in your shop, but just you being the only difference.
Yeah.
And your shop being the different location. But each episode is like a different creator and a different project.
See, at first, I think people will be angry at you, but at a certain point, that might actually kind of become cool.
It becomes art.
Yeah. But then you loop all the way back around on it. So it's the snake eating its own tail.
You know, I was actually thinking, Derek, that's a genius idea. That seems like such an easy YouTube channel. But then
Somebody had to have done it.
And then I got thinking, that seems like a lot of work.
Oh, I think it's actually a lot more work than you'd think.
Right. Because it would be so much more difficult for me to watch one of Derek's videos and then try to act and talk and film like him than it would for me to be just press record and start talking like I am now.
Yeah. But I don't have to come up with the project. I don't have to film. I know exactly what to film. I don't have to film everything. I just have to film very little. Like your filming and your editing is reduced dramatically because you have a blueprint already.
What if your thing is like, okay, this week I'm going to try the Minecraft table by Zach. Okay, I saw him in this video do this. It's almost kind of like a reaction.
I'm going to do the Minecraft video by the Facebook Marketplace guy, not Zach's Minecraft.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say reacts too, because there's actually a whole style of video where people just string together a bunch of viral videos and they react to them.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, well, no, but a little bit like, okay, here's this, like what I saw a gorilla throwing a capybara the other day.
Sure.
So stupid viral videos like that. String 20 of those together and then have you like laughing or being like, oh, that was really funny when the thing did that. It's like, is that creative content? I guess maybe in the sense that you're like curating a bunch of stuff together, but
I mean, at some point, you're just curating it. I think there's two different types there. There's the people that just create compilation videos, different funny things that are happening. And then there's the people that give more, like you said, reaction videos where they give a little commentary to what they just witnessed beyond just like, that was funny.
But what if
you talk about it a little bit in some way?
I feel like people are there just to see a bunch of silly videos strung together. They don't really care about your like.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's two different videos. Like I watch commentary ones, like the I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head, but a couple of them where like they'll show like usually on like Instagram, like a quick clip and then react to it and give like a little commentary, like it's comedy. And then me and my family will sit around and watch like compilation pet videos or compilation fail videos.
Yeah,
on,
YouTube. For sure.
So, those are two different things though.
Yeah. Are you there for the comment? Do you actually care about the person's like commentary?
On the compilation videos, there's no commentary. It's
on the other, like the reaction style ones.
Oh yeah, because it's comedy, like I said. So it's just like it's all about like they're shorts, so it's like less than a minute long, and it's just about getting that humorous take on it.
Okay,
if you will.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I think we've talked about the subject for an hour and not really gotten anywhere closer to the truth, which is that means it's a great question.
Yeah. I think the extent of the conversation boils down into, I don't know.
I think we just ate our own tail.
Yeah, it's really a blurry, very, very blurry line.
But you know what's not a blurry line?
Line to watch the after show?
Sure. Yeah.
Or the BOMC next week.
Patreon.com/offthecut-podcast and log into the after show.
Of Patreon, I believe we have a new patron.
We have a new patron this week.
Yes.
So huge shout out to Thomas Munyon, who has I need like the jail cell has unlocked the after show. All 177 previous after shows.
Woo!
Oh, look at that. Hey, and our good buddy Scott Walsh has joined the live stream right now. Yeah, Scott, I hate to tell you, it's the end of the show.
Right.
So everybody, Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're going to head over to the after show at patreon.com/offthecut-podcast. We will see you next week. And before we end, a reminder to all of our top tier patrons that Tuesday, August 19th, we are having our live hangout, our BYOC at around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So be on the lookout for a message through Patreon for that. And catch you next week.
See you, everybody.
See you all right.
I want to give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons. Corey Duvall at Woodcrafts and Honey. Josh at Sawdust Builds. Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop. Goblin Spanker.
Can't say that anymore.
Building Creative. Dadu said, yeah, buddy. Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking.
Bingo bango, you're done.
Zach, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I follow you.
You should stop.